pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. I foresee you have much to do. I won't keep you. Adieu.
Where to first, Commander? Henry Rames, uranium manufacturing, or outpost opportunity?
Welcome back. Any luck enlisting help? As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
If the Archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced.
Basar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will... Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh dear, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
What happened to this place? Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony? What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
My nug. Ow! Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore.
Sorry, I'm all out of throat lozenges. I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. If it's all the same, I'll give it to someone in real need. I've got more practice ahead of me. Wouldn't want to spoil it by seeking treatment. You have my gratitude, stranger.
How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's Mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. What? And you think that's me? Listen, friend, a little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional.
Look, this place ain't exactly crawling with experts, and Doc needs all the help he can get. Even if all you do is suture wounds, your services will be invaluable.
Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Fresh being the operative word. My thanks, stranger.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Keep your behavior affecting acceptable. We're putting this sprat back into the camp.
Oyster is looking pretty good right about now.
Arcadia. If we factor. For random elements offsetting certain key variables.
I haven't seen this many folks crammed together since we called libations led up to cluster. Smells about the same too.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the orders more?
Go on. You take care now. You hear?
I calculated the position of every element.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp?
Oh, a visitor. Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. I mean, if you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, what do you call it, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation...
The duties of an administrator never end. Exemplary. Our scienticians reported they were most impressed with the thoroughness of your inquiry. The displaced must deeply appreciate your careful consideration. And me, by proxy as well, as your ardent and industrious facilitator. Go speak with the voice of the displaced. I will meet you there shortly, and finally, we can bring this to a close.
Oh, Administrator Agrawal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands. Speak on, then.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Her mission is to uplift and enlighten.
She's indoctrinating, not helping us. Can't you see the difference?
Point taken.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
I'm appreciative of you all getting us food and medicine, but she needs backup.
I suppose I'll take it under advisement.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd. And I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. Our standard response to tomfoolery is to assign the offender to community betterment detail. But I'll take it under advisement. I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah. Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis? We have ample room to space people out more, but only if we utilize the exclusion zone.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established order construction guidelines. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands.
Shit. Very well, Administrant. You win. I'll honor the terms of the mediation. Let's hope your math was right.
Have faith. Or, if not faith, reason. We can still work together to improve conditions around Matriarch's Mercy. Your reward, Mediator, with my thanks. I now consider the matter decisively closed.
What happened to this place? Matriarch's Mercy is no safer. Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
I remember this place before the war. Ultra-machines. The peaceful silence in the canyons.
I can't. Can't recall the last time.
the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Stay back! Oh, wait. You aren't one of those damn scrappers. Apologies, stranger. These eyes don't see as well as they used to. Perhaps it was fate you met me here. A capable sort like you is akin to an oasis in a hellish wasteland. So might you be willing to help an old, injured man with a simple task? I was injured attempting to scale that cliff face to the estate. Wouldn't do to have a fresh wound out in the open, where anything might happen upon me. So I hunkered down here. See, I came here to salvage my, memoir manuscripts. I left some files behind when I fled the estate after the war broke out. Tragic, yes, but what else was an old man to do? If you're keen to help, one file's in a locker in the tram station. The other's in the mansion, in the late vigilance quarters. Simple to collect, once you get past the scrappers. Why? Because she was an avid reader, enamored with the tales of the brave and the brilliant. I was a close advisor, see? And once she learned of my writings, she couldn't resist taking an exclusive first look. Bless her. Oh, bless your kindly nature. Do return promptly should you happen upon those, scribblings of mine. Silly old fool, coming here without aid. Be lucky to leave here alive.
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? Looks like we're in for a hike.
Commander. Sorry, it's ready yet. No, fuck them low. just think, you know what would make this climb better? Being shot at.
to, but I'm not ready.
To the rescue! Sight unseen! Out of sight and on the way!
Ready to waste it. On your command. Beautiful miracle. Wait, one of these panels ain't like the others. Looks authentic. Maybe we should take it with us. Not like it's doing any good here. Way down, sure, but you won't be getting back up.
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo if you need it. Sure, it's pretty now, but have we considered what it might look like on fire? Here's to the next residents being above felony.
Sort of humor in the onset of the first war in Arcadia's history, within a few days of my being assigned here. As far from Protectorate society as possible, Golden Ridge suffers under an invading force, and moreover, it appears that our Order colleagues have betrayed us. At first, I lamented my isolation, but I've realized I was where I needed to be of service. The scores of abandoned subjects need a leader. I have enlisted the staff at these estates to help accept the first influx of still loyal Protectorate refugees. More shall come. I shall lead them out of the shadows and into the light. For the good of the Protectorate. This is my calling.
Returned in one piece. Did you, perchance, acquire those, precious items we spoke about? Oh, don't you worry about that. Come now, hand them over. Ah, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. My handlers will be mighty pleased with these indeed.
You're acquainted with us then, and you still hadn't managed to connect the proverbial dots. Ha! That there is proof. I've still got it. Old Spider is mighty good at keeping secrets. All I can divulge is that valuable data, like this here, always paves the way to lucrative business ventures. I certainly cannot, or my handler will be having strong, potentially career-ending words with me. And I resent the implication that I was not an equal partner in this venture. Anyhow, here's your payment for a job well done. And since you're apparently known to others in Sub Rosa, I suppose I can add a bit of knowledge on top. Been watching the Scrappers for a while. They stick to raids, nothing big or risky. All the same, they caught the attention of a Sentinel. Imagine they were being brought to heel. Sentinels work in secret, but someone somewhere gave the Scrappers word that he was coming and bringing trouble with him. They killed him upon his arrival, of course. The Protectorate'll do anything to bring defectors to heel. They're getting desperate. Lucky for this lot, someone has a vested interest in preserving their freedom. Now to patch myself up and return home. Come on. Come on, Spider. Gather your energy.
Let me handle this. That's tingling. All charged up.
navigation systems offline. Unable to locate designated path.
Greetings. This unit is unable to fulfill its programming. Are you able to assist this unit in its assigned duties? This unit is unable to execute its programming due to tampering. Navigational and other systems have been compromised. This unit is now being used as a target, which is not among its designated functions. This unit must return to Matriarch's Mercy to dispense medical care in order to fulfill its programming. Searching for last known location of charging pad. Success! 1 entry found. Processing optimal path toward Matriarch's Mercy. Return sequence will be initiated once path is determined. Clarification of purpose confirmed. This unit will arrive at its destination with 0.02% higher efficiency. Thank you, qualified engineer. This unit's current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an Arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an Arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. We operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will, thus we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. As an apprentice, I was taught to see investigations through to their completion. Evidence begets evidence and can lead one to uncover further criminal elements. Any further interest is purely academic. You've been busy. What did you find? Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Good observation. Suffice it to say, the Protectorate would not take kindly to such a theft. Did you have anything else? Perhaps it might allow us to ascertain the final moments of the camp's machines. See if any final commands were sent before the camp's destruction. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. The fact that this camp isn't a bullet-strewn ruin suggests it was wiped out by something precise, or at least not as destructive as traditional weapons of war. Did you learn anything by examining the body? Death by shotgun, as the wounds appear to me, are often painful, drawn out. Myriad dead refugees, killed in a particular way, but only a single destroyed automech. I'm beginning to make a connection. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Then it was fighting blind. Doesn't seem like something a defensive automech should be doing. Oh? I wouldn't expect a localized transmitter to harbor anything of note. Prove me wrong. The sign that something unusual happened there may fit snugly into our other observations. We shall wait and see. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an automech. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Agreed. I do believe that relay is of Protectorate make, and the refugees most certainly didn't build it themselves. They were likely Protectorate as well. I hypothesize that they used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. Theorized. I knew this was an ex-Protectorate encampment, but wasn't sure it was a Sentinel's doing until this moment. They operate in clandestine ways. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Return. Who are? Get the box out of the frame. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Hardy engagement. Held your own, Admiral. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Injuries detected. Please seek medical assistance prior to loss of consciousness. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Just heard back. The Hydra finally decided to get scared. That's why we have to buy our own weapons from our own market. Got people who built your
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live Arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body. Though, when it comes to Protectorate Arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct link from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen ACAD execs I recruited last week.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Won't argue he seems capable, but let's be mindful where his true allegiance lies.
Very well. I shall locate whichever craft seems the most out of place, for something tells me this shall lead me to yours. See you again shortly.
Hostiles near. Keep the water in up.
Plan on conjuring ammo from the Aether. We ought to get the crap. No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
very non-scholarly look about you.
Guess they're survivors after all. For now, anyway.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked? You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot? Yeah? Well, what exactly makes you so sure of that? Huh. Interesting. Did he say who he thinks did hit us? Not that it matters, I suppose. Not like we can muster a counterattack or anything. But even if I did believe you, so what? Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long. Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you was someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. Normally I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me. You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me, and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you, see? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side. That bomb that hit us, it was filled with uranium. So not only did it kill us the good old-fashioned way, it also caused serious poisoning. My contract medicalist over there is literally up to her elbows in it, her hourly rate is ridiculous, and our damn autodocs have gone on the fritz from the workload. You get her the compression coil she needs to make the autodocs work, and that should cut her billable hours in half, and then I'll send your message. There's been a murder at one of our forts. Trooper's accused of poisoning her senior officer for some preposterous reason. Problem is, I'm already short on medical specialists. The last thing I can do is waste one for days just to find out if she did or didn't toxify him. Go find out who done it, and I'll send the message you're asking for. This is gonna make no more sense for me saying it than it's gonna make for you hearing it, but apparently, the senior officer at one of my forts is a mantisaur. A real, actual, pincer-faced, carapace-having mantisaur. Not a half-human one, or a psychic one, or a talking one, just a regular old, head-munching mantisaur. Anyways, there's some dispute over who his second should be, and he can't exactly decide himself. So go sort it out for me, and I will gladly send your message. Now, you know that's an irrevocable deal, right? As in, please remember it's legally binding, and I will sue you if you fail to get it done. So don't let either of us down.
People are dying, and all he cares about is what he can get out of it. Wish I could say I was surprised.